Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Makerspace for another update video. Now, here in the closet, you will see I have the Bandit. Now, the Bandit is in pieces right now. I took off all the wiring. I took out everything from in here. I unplugged just about anything that needed to be unplugged. Took out the tail light, took out the horn. My next step is to remove the brakes, but I'm going to wait on that because, as you can see, I got my new seat. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am currently here at work, and we have ChatGPT going right now. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight into how I am creating an AI-powered bike. So at the moment, ChatGPT is writing me some code. As you can see, I clicked on continue responding, and it's able to pick up where it left off. GPT-3 was not able to do that. But as you can see in the Arduino editor that I have, this is Arduino Cloud. If you've never used it, it's fantastic. This is my hardware. I have it set up with 4 latching switches, 3 momentary switches. One is supposed to act as a horn, and then these 2 are acting as signals, left and right. And I've done many different versions of this code, starting from just basic button state checker, and it just got better and better and better. Then I got the GPT-4, and GPT-4 took my 200 lines of code. Well, this one isn't the longest one. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, this is 200 lines of code, and it was able to condense it much more. But after doing a lot of back and forth with GPT, it had a lot of trouble remembering what my desired functionality was. So what I did was I asked it to give me a breakdown of what it thought I wanted, and seeing where we started, the 4 or 5 iterations that we did that got really close, and then asking it to break down again what the functionality was, it was so far off. So if we can see right up here, this was what it thought I wanted. Headlight, high beam, hazard lights, kill switch. That is totally off. Not even close. I wanted low beam, high beam, accessory, and tail light, and it knew that, especially from the very beginning, and it was doing that right. But after focusing so much on the turn signal functionality, it lost completely what I wanted for the rest of the code. Good timing. Before we test that code on here, I have a 3D model that just finished. Let's see it. So this is my Adventure 4, very good printer. That does not look that good. Powered by AI. So I put the ChatGPT logo on there. I thought it was fitting. But here you see my button panel. Now, I actually have 2 of them going right now. This one is using a different color filament, but I actually had to redo it because my bed platform wasn't perfectly level. So there's a couple of inconsistencies. But that's not really that big of a deal. I personally really do enjoy the design of a 3D print, no matter how wonky it might actually be. But this is the second version of this. So this is our first button panel. As you can see, Blue Angel V1. I had 6 buttons on here because I didn't really know how many buttons I might need. 6 was way too many. I also handled the wiring totally differently in my first couple of attempts. Check out my previous videos to see that chaos. But, you know, I did a circuit board that definitely did not work. I practiced using barrel connectors, which burned out on me because I was pulling too many amps. So now I'm moving on to using XT30 connectors, and then for my horn, which pulls more amps, I might use an XT60. Not really too sure yet, but that's something that is just gonna have to come with time. As you can see here, this is my momentary switch handlebar panel. 1, 2, and 3 buttons. Horn, left turn signal, right turn signal. You press both at the same time to activate the hazards. Wiring. Now, to actually connect the buttons to the Arduino, I wanted it to be clean, so I purchased these JST connectors. I don't really know if these are going to be good enough. Like I said, I'm just kind of winging it. If you have input on that, please help me. This was from my very first attempt at trying to get some code done. I was learning it myself, and I was trying my best and using what I knew. But then I took that first attempt of button state checking, put it into ChatGPT, and nothing was the same. Over here, this is a button diagram for something else that I made that I thought was pretty cool. So, yeah, we got the new button panel now. All it's going to have are 4 buttons and just the kill switch on it. And then we will also have the 3 buttons here. So before we look at that any deeper, we're gonna head back over here and let's test out this code. So pretty much I told it what I needed. This is absolutely not my second or third attempt. I don't even know what that is. It included a new library. All right, I don't know. I don't know what to think here. I'm just gonna click copy. Go back to my Arduino editor. New sketch. I'm gonna rename it, and I'm gonna call this after plain English #1. So I gave it my plain English prompt that I've been refining. We put it in there. Now I will simply paste, and I'm probably gonna have to compile just to see if it knows about this library or if it's built in. So now here's a good time to just pause and ask the question, is ChatGPT gonna make it so that anybody can code? I'm gonna say no. If I didn't know as much as I do know about code, which is really not that much, I would not be able to get here. If I didn't know about libraries, if I didn't know about different types of functions, you know, let alone the actual hardware wiring, which is something else that I had to spend a lot of time battling with. This is not going to make this project accessible to just about anybody, but it will open the door for many more people. I definitely feel like I was barely in the door, now I'm in the door. Oof, it does that. I don't know why. Nothing. That is not how that's supposed to work. These relays here, they need a low signal in order to activate. So that means that I need to connect the input pin to ground. So when it's on this side, it's connected to ground, it's on. When I push the switch away, it turns off. So that part is working fine, or at least as expected. But then with this guy, you see it's pressed when I'm pressing it down, it's off because it is low. Or is it? I don't know, man. I have to read through the code now and see what it's actually doing, but the signals are not working at all. My intended use of the signals is quite intuitive. It's literally just you press one and the left will start blinking. You press the other, the right will start blinking. After a certain amount of time, they'll cut off. So let's say nothing's blinking right now. I press it, 15 seconds of blinking on the left, it'll stop. If I press it again while it's blinking, it'll terminate. If I press both at the same time, it'll activate a hazard mode, which will blink both lights indefinitely until I press these again at the same time. But that is not even close to how it's working. So far, not one attempt has gotten that properly. Every single latching switch has been fine from the very beginning. The horn functionality was fine after a few attempts. That was when I clarified to it that this is a low, what do they call it? Low activating, whatever, low active. As for the turn signal functionality, we are not there yet. So we are diving back into our last attempt. Let's see how this goes. Well guys, it is much later in the evening, as you can tell. I'm outside right now and I am here with my Super 73. Now the reason I brought out the Super 73 is so that I can show you something real quick, and this will kind of explain why I'm doing all this work with the Arduino in the first place. So on my Super 73, this was the first time I ever started dealing with an external battery. Now, I have a YouTube video about my whole journey starting this process, but as you can see, I have a heavily used 12-volt power system in here. And this is what's responsible for powering my LEDs down here, which are not on at the moment. Oh. Okay, I guess the LEDs don't work. Oh, shit. I was riding with no lights this whole time. This power system here is controlled by this button panel here. It's just one latching, two latching. I have another momentary that's for my horn but doesn't work at the moment, and then I have a spare momentary as well. I was planning on doing something with this, but it's not really, I'm all over the place. It's not really that often where you need a momentary switch on a handlebar. You know, one horn, maybe you have a second horn, I don't know why. But setting up this whole button system here, as you can see, the power or the cables go through here into the main bundle, and all of this is routed down into this side bag here. If you look at it, it's just this cable nightmare in here. I don't even want to open it really, but there's a whole bunch of wires in there and then a little box, and that's what controls this. That can connect to your phone. It's pretty cool, but I was always saying how I hate all of the modes. It has like 20 different modes, but all of them are stupid. It's just another version of blinking. I really want to customize the animations on the lights, and in order to do that, I need a microcontroller. And in order to set all of that up, I might as well do it the right way. So I just went big. Now, did ChatGPT get our code working for the Bandit? No, it did not. I'm still messing with that. We're coming very close, and I'm kind of determined at this point to just do it by myself with ChatGPT before I ask for any outside assistance. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next video, and make sure you subscribe. Peace out.